Here's a pretty interesting one. Repair to start, or it's a no start. First thing I did was check fuel pressure, and so I'm tied in the T down here. Fuel pressure is holding. All I did was that's a fuel pump relay, that's the ECM relay. So all you do is you bridge the 12 o'clock with the 6 o'clock at the bottom, and then you can get the fuel pump to run. So it's holding pressure. That means the pressure regulator is good, fuel pump is good because it's got adequate pressure. My next step was to just see what happens when I try to start the car. So I have my jumper wire right here to the starter, and as I was cranking and stopped cranking, fuel pressure just kept dropping instantly. And that's obviously not supposed to happen. So the only difference was that the key was on and the computer was alive. So I took the fuel pump the ECM relay out and did the same thing again, key on, cranking, and it held pressure. To verify that the injectors were staying on, I put an LED light in with the key off. You can see the light is off, so the injectors are not being controlled. So then I plugged the relay back in. The key's still off, I think, at this point. Yeah, it is. I plugged the relay back, turned the key back on with the relay in place, and then I could see this was nice and bright constantly without the engine turning. Obviously those LEDs should only flicker as the distributor is turning and the windows go across the hall sensor. And with the key on, relay out, this guy is actually on dimly. I'll show you. Okay, so it's making a liar out of me here. Key is on, but the relay is out. So watch, as soon as I put the relay in, the light will come on. Lights on, and fuel pressure drops. I take the relay out, fuel pressure comes back up, and now the light is staying on dimly. Let me turn my headlamp off. Well, my flash is on. 1 second. Okay, now you can see, you should be able to see that that's lit. And that shouldn't be lit right now because the relay is out. So could very well be that the injector driver is shorted someplace, unless it's the harness that's shorted. So what I'll do is I'll disconnect the computer harness to see if that light goes out. Okay, computer harness is disconnected. There's the computer. Ignition key is on, so I'm just gonna plug in the relay. The light's staying off. So that doesn't 100% rule out wiring harness, etc., because the computer still needs to. The computer can still, the computer still needs to supply power to the wiring harness as well. And then internally, if the wiring harness is shorted where it's not supposed to be, that can still be a wiring harness issue. But anyways, took me about 20 minutes, including the pressure tester adapting, checking for spark, my usual method. You just hold it against close to ground like this and crank it via a jumper wire at the starter. You should see spark jumping nicely, which I did, but as soon as I saw pressure dropping, then obviously focus turns to fuel supply. Okay, I'm not sure if there's going to be an update to this video, just trying to produce some content for you guys. The testing computer is attached, and as you can see, it's running. So it was definitely a bad ECM. I did some powers and ground checks. Everything seemed okay. The throttle switch isn't closing at idle, so that's the only thing I got to fix still. But yeah, the ECM failed for whatever reason. The injector driver is stuck closed, meaning the injectors are always on.